Hi guys, it's Wilma. Welcome to my video. Today I have a painting process video for y'all, and I'm gonna show you a painting that I started back on New Year's Eve of 2020, and I finished it in March this year, so it took me a while. I didn't work on it like every day, but yeah. I documented the whole thing and I'm gonna talk about a few things, so let's get into it. Okay, so I didn't show this painting completely from the beginning because I honestly didn't know if this was gonna be anything. I actually started this painting because I kind of had a bit of a messy state of mind and I needed to paint something, so I just began painting this body, this back, whatever this is. To begin with, talking a little bit about the process, I'm not gonna get too much into it because I feel like it gets repetitive and boring, but I began with sketching pretty roughly with some burnt sienna. I did some very simple line work, not really any detail, to be honest. I wish that I would have shown it from the beginning because I feel like the sketch is a very interesting part of the painting, seeing how someone begins a art piece and all of that, but anyway, who cares? There were quite a few struggles with the technical aspects of this painting. So painting a back has proven to be one of the most difficult things because there's a lot of dimension in the back, this one being with some pretty visible muscles, and there was like a lot of bright highlights and dark shadows, which can be difficult to paint, especially using acrylic paint, because acrylic paint is hard to blend sometimes, and I am so used to doing very smooth art and realistic art, so that's probably why the painting took me so long to finish, because I just wanted to smooth everything out, and that isn't necessarily something that I love the look of, but I'm so used to doing it that I don't really know anything else, to be honest. But yeah, I don't really want to talk more about the process. Mostly I had a few struggles with dimensions of the back, a few proportional struggles, but I ended up fixing those. But the thing that I wanted to talk more about in this video is how I'm able to kind of stay motivated and inspired while working on projects that take a few months to finish. I'm gonna bring up a few key factors that I think are important if you are making a project that takes longer time. So first thing, and this is actually pretty obvious, you gotta be determined. So determination is a very important key factor to being able to work on something for months. I would describe myself as a pretty stubborn person. If I put my mind to something and if I truly want to do it, I am going to do it. I have my brain in that place and I'm gonna do it. So being determined or being stubborn is a very important part. It plays a huge role in being able to do this kind of projects for me personally. So that is a key factor that I would like to bring up. Okay, I've already brought it up. Okay, I don't know what I'm saying. Moving on to the next thing that I think is really important. You gotta have a lot of patience. You gotta be patient with yourself. You gotta realize that this is gonna take a while to finish, and you gotta be kind of gentle with yourself in a way. I wouldn't say that I was in the best state of mind all of the time while working on this, because if you do make art, you are probably aware of the mental struggles that can come with making art. It can be very physically challenging for sure, but it's also very mentally challenging. So being patient with yourself is super important. Obviously it's important to be patient because it's gonna take a long time, but also just to make sure that you are not being hard on yourself, and you gotta be gentle on yourself and on your mind while working on something that takes a long time, because it is pretty frustrating a lot of the time, and it takes a lot out of you, both mentally and physically, so have patience. Another thing is having a vision. So what I mean by having a vision is, I guess, just kind of being able to see yourself finish the piece. I honestly wrote this in my notes, and now that I'm trying to talk about it, I barely know what I meant by it, but just, I guess, visioning yourself finishing it. You don't necessarily have to know exactly what the end results are gonna look like from the beginning or throughout the whole process, because whenever I make art, I never know what it's gonna turn out to look like. But it is important, in my opinion, to be able to vision yourself finishing the piece at least, because whatever you think will come to life. Finding meaning is also very important for me. Being able to find meaning in what I do makes me motivated to work on it. If there was no meaning in my art, I would probably not be able to finish it a lot of the time. So even if the meaning might not be very obvious to the observer, to the person who looks at your art, you can still put a lot of meaning into it in your own ways. And I don't know, I like to put my inner world onto the paper, and I do not know if that makes sense or if that's cheesy as hell, but I honestly do not care. And the last key factor, which is, I feel like, what I've been talking about, but just don't give up. I wanted to give up so many times during the process of this, but I did not, and that's what matters. And even if it gets difficult, you gotta realize that it's gonna be worth it, and you are going to finish it at some point. Even if you're like a few months into the painting and you're like, when the heck am I going to finish this? You are going to finish it. I will say that making projects that takes a few months is definitely difficult. It's super difficult, which is why I wanted to talk about how I feel about it and what I feel like you gotta have to be able to do it. But overall, I think just believe in yourself and try to make yourself excited about the process, even if it's not always super exciting, because trust me, I know that it's hard to make stuff that takes months. Hi! Okay, it is finally done. So I started this piece on New Year's Eve 2020, December 30th. It is currently March 9th. I don't know how to say that, but it's done. I actually finished it like a week ago, but I did a few things for the background and then I let it rest for a little while, and then I realized that I didn't really like that, so I went back and just painted the background all basic, and I'm just gonna let it be like that. And there's probably a million things that I could fix. You know, I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so sometimes it's hard to let it go, but I'm done. I'm so done with this. I don't want to work on it anymore. I couldn't. It's not possible. So yeah, this is what it turned out to look like. We have a little butterfly, we have a few smileys. Just to like add a little bit of creativity, the butterfly stands for healing, which is what the painting is about. It was quite a roller coaster to paint this. I had a few mental breakdowns, I had a lot of headaches, and some days were quite difficult, but in the end I managed to finish, and that's all that matters, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to make a little outro to say hi and say goodbye. I really hope you enjoyed watching the process, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me talk about whatever the heck I talked about. I'm gonna go make more art, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Peace out. Okay, I'm probably gonna go to... Okay. Bye. I'm so bad at this.